series has been designed to introduce the basics of speed development to athletes ages 8 to 14 and their parents. Regardless of what some people may say, speed can absolutely be trained, and the Easy Speed videos will show you how to do just that. Video 1 of the series focuses on straight-ahead sprinting. This is the most common form of speed and simply involves running as fast as possible from point A to point B. To enhance this skill, you will learn to use the Quickfoot ladder and hand weight training tools from Speed City. Video 2 zeroes in on agility. The easiest way to illustrate the importance of this skill is to think about a car that doesn't have a steering wheel. Regardless of how fast the car is, it is useless without the capability of turning around corners and weaving in and out of traffic. The same is true with an athlete. To develop agility, you will be introduced to Speed City's Sidewinder and breakaway belts. Video 3 deals with the fun skill of jumping. A lot of sports action takes place above the field or court, and the training tricks in this video will show you how to be part of that action. To help improve your jumping ability, this video will put to use Speed City's Jelly Ball and Mini Hurdles. You can use the Easy Speed videos in any order you wish, one at a time or all at once. To achieve maximum athletic performance, we recommend that you complete each of the 3 programs. Mini hurdles are the first training tool you will use to improve a young athlete's jumping skills. By using small obstacles like the hurdles, you can teach athletes to better control their bodies when they jump, how to quickly rebound off the ground in between jumps, and to generate more powerful jumps by using proper technique. Proper jumping technique simply involves the coordination of 4 specific movements. Before an athlete performs a jump, he gets into what is called a loaded position. This means he is bent at the ankles and knees, his hips are back, and his arms are drawn behind his hips. The athlete then generates maximum power by synchronizing the extension of his ankles and knees and the forward thrust of the hips and arms. For most athletes, the hips and arms are the key. If the athlete can make these 2 motions happen at the same time, then good things are going to happen when they jump. As your athlete performs all of the drills on this video, keep an eye on these 2 areas. The first couple of hurdle drills involve only one hurdle. For the most part, these drills focus on quickness off the ground rather than height. The first drill is called front-back hops. Here the athlete stands facing a hurdle. The athlete hops over the hurdle with both feet so that he lands in a position where the hurdle is to his back. The athlete controls his body and then hops backwards in the same way. The goal is to perform a set number of hops in as little time as possible, or to perform a maximum number of hops in a set period of time. Both techniques are used in the printed workout that came with this video. Lateral hops work the same way as front-back hops, except that the athlete is hopping laterally over the hurdle. Both feet should leave the ground and strike the ground at the same time on this exercise. Notice that each time the athlete lands, his body returns to a mini loaded position. The ankles and knees are just slightly bent, and the hips and hands are just slightly drawn back. The athlete then quickly pops off the ground by forcefully straightening the ankles and knees and quickly thrusting the hips and hands forward. Rabbit hops are set up by arranging 5 or more hurdles in a straight line with about 2 to 3 feet of separation between each. The athlete simply hops over each hurdle and immediately pops off the ground as soon as he comes into contact with the ground. The athlete will use the same technique of coordinating his jumping motions, just as shown on the previous 2 drills. The obvious difference here is that the athlete is progressing forward with each hop. The athlete should focus primarily on technique and rhythm and should not be overly concerned with the height of each jump. As the athlete is in the air, he should bring his body back into a loaded position so the ankles, knees, hips, and hands are ready to fire as soon as the feet touch the ground. Lateral rabbit hops work the same way as the last drill, except that the athlete hops through the hurdles sideways. The athlete's goal is still to coordinate the forward thrust of the hips and arms and to pop off the ground as quickly as possible. The athlete must control his forward momentum so that his upper body does not get too far in front of his feet and cause him to miss some of the hurdles. Frog leaps are similar to rabbit hops, but are not quite as quick and involve more powerful leaps. While rabbit hops are almost straight up and down, frog leaps aim to cover more ground. The spacing of the hurdles depends primarily on the skill of the athlete. In this demonstration, they are approximately 4 feet apart. The athlete uses the same technique of coordinating the forward thrust of his arms and hips, the straightening of the legs, and the flick of the foot to propel himself into the leap. The athlete should pull his legs back in front of his body while in the air in preparation for landing. As soon as the athlete lands, he should be ready to fire his arms and hips again to get over the next hurdle. The athlete should build up momentum with each leap so that the leaps at the end are easier than those at the beginning. For athletes who are trying to improve their jumping skills, training with a jelly ball is an excellent complement to training with hurdles. All of the drills that are performed with a jelly ball employ the same jumping movements that were used during the hurdle drills. However, the weight of the jelly ball now increases the level of difficulty because it disrupts the athlete's rhythm. As an athlete performs the jelly ball drills, focus should again be on synchronizing the extension of the ankles and knees and the forward thrust of the hips and hands. While success in the hurdle drills was measured by the height, distance, or quickness of a jump, success in jelly ball drills is typically measured by the height or distance of a throw. This is great because the athlete gets immediate feedback on how well they performed the motion by watching to see how far the ball travels. Athletes will progress quickly in these exercises, so make sure they are performed in areas with plenty of open space. Caber swings is a warm-up exercise that helps increase an athlete's awareness of jumping technique. This drill works the entire range of jumping movement, all the way from the fully loaded position to the final total body extension. To perform caber swings, the athlete stands with feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart and holds a jelly ball extended above his head. The athlete then lets the weight of the ball drop in front of his body so that it pulls him down into a loaded position where his hips, knees, and ankles are bent and the ball is behind his feet. From here, the athlete then reverses the motion, swings the ball back up to above his head, and brings his hips, knees, and ankles back into alignment. This exercise stretches and warms the entire body and helps condition the athlete's mind to what a properly synchronized jump feels like. The caber toss drill is similar to the last drill, except that the athlete is challenged to throw the ball at the top of the swing. Here the athlete begins with feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart and holds the jelly ball above his head. The athlete then lets the weight of the ball drop in front of his body so that it pulls him down into a loaded position. From this position, the athlete fires his hips forward, straightens his knees, pushes his toes into the ground, and throws the ball straight up in the air as high as possible. The athlete then catches the ball on the bounce after it hits the ground, reloads, and throws again. Athletes absolutely love the heave and retrieve drill because it finally lets them take the jelly ball and just chunk it as far as they can. The athlete begins in a loaded position with the jelly ball placed right under his chin. From this position, the athlete explodes forward and presses the ball off his chest as high and as far as he possibly can. Athletes should pretend they are standing on one side of a river and are trying to throw the jelly ball to the other side. As soon as the athlete releases the ball, his job is then to catch up with it as quickly as possible by sprinting after it. This drill can be conducted by focusing on a single throw where the athlete just sprints past the ball, or on multiple throws as shown here where the athlete runs the ball down, picks it up, and throws it again. The backwards caber toss works the same as the caber toss demonstrated earlier, except that rather than throwing the ball straight up in the air, the athlete throws the ball as high and as far as possible behind his head. As the athlete powers out of the crouched, loaded position, he arches his back and pushes his hips forward to propel the ball backwards. He then quickly turns 180 degrees and sprints after the ball. The key to this drill is the exaggerated forward thrust of the hips. As you have seen throughout this video, much emphasis has been placed on an athlete's ability to generate power by snapping their hips forward. As athletes become more proficient with this movement, they will see immediate and drastic improvement in areas such as leaping and in the first step quickness in a sprint. You have now seen all the drills you will need to help a young athlete jump higher and quicker. The workout card included with this video will provide you with an easy-to-follow workout progression involving the jelly ball and mini hurdles. The workouts have been designed to be challenging but not overwhelming. If an athlete has trouble with one or two of the drills at first, encourage them to stay with it and keep trying. We've seen it 1,000 times. At some point it just clicks with the athlete and they start looking like a pro. There is nothing more fun than youth sports, and we're confident that this training system will only enhance the experience you and your athlete have. Good luck with the training, and please contact us at Speed City if we can be of further assistance to you. If you like the drills on this video and you want more ideas, check out the 25 best hurdle drills video and the 40 best jelly ball drills video, both available online at speedcity.com. Also now available from Speed City is Visual Ignition, a totally off-the-wall approach to speed development. This video shows you how to move faster by training your eyes to quickly recognize and react to flashes of color. Have big fun and make big gains by implementing this brand new training system from speedcity.com.